You're listening to Life with Herpes, and this is episode 22. Hello, and welcome to today's episode with Life with Herpes. I am your host, Alexandra Harbushka, and as always, I am excited to be here. And as you know by now, if you are a subscriber to the show, whether you're a subscriber on iTunes or you're a subscriber on YouTube, as you know, this is my favorite because, like I said, I get to connect. I get to meet people. I get to know who you are and where you're from. I love the Ask Alexandra questions because they're great questions. And chances are I'm wondering it or somebody else is wondering it. And it is just a great way to really connect with this community and get this stuff out there. We want to, we all need to know as much as we can about the virus so that we can prevent transmitting it to the people that we love, right? Right. Okay. So before I begin, this episode is brought to you by the Life with Herpes Crisis Toolkit. I am so excited about this, you guys. Gosh, I'm so excited about it. I put this together because when I found out I had herpes, I felt alone, I felt lost, and my first week was it was earth-shattering. And so I put this crisis toolkit together to really help you if you just found out you had herpes. What is in it? It is an action plan, like what to do in your first 48 hours, what to do in your first 24 hours. There's a crisis calmer. There's what you need to know about outbreaks, the Outbreaks 101, and difficult conversations, how to have them, when to have them, all of that stuff that just gives you that that feeling in your tummy when you're like, I gotta do this, how do I do it? So it is there for you. Like I said, I have put my heart and soul into this, and I really, truly wish I had it when I found out I had herpes. So head on over to lifewithherpes.com. You will find information. It is right on top about the Life with Herpes Crisis Toolkit. Click on it, learn more, and I want to give you a hug if you just found out you had herpes. So this is like the virtual hug if you're listening in your earbuds or watching me on YouTube. So yeah, head on over and find that out. Okay, so the Ask Alexandra question today is, it comes from Destiny from Washington, D.C., and what's up, Destiny? Thanks for submitting your question. And Washington, D.C. is such a beautiful city. I used to go there a lot as a little girl. I love going in the spring with the cherry blossoms. What a beautiful, beautiful city you live in. So I'm sure there's a lot of excitement going on there all the time. So anyways, Destiny's question is, she says, I'm pregnant. How does this affect my baby and my pregnancy? So first of all, Destiny, congratulations. How exciting. I bet you are absolutely thrilled and over the moon. And congratulations. I mean, that's huge, right? You're having a baby. Congratulations. But how does this affect my pregnancy and my baby? This is really a great question. And I'm glad you asked it because that was one of the first questions I had when I found out I had herpes. I immediately asked, I calmed down after my first week, but I remember asking, how does this affect a child? What does this mean? There's all these new changes that have now happened with my body now that I found out I have herpes. How does this affect my body and my potential baby? And here's kind of the breakdown. If you are just finding out you have herpes and you're pregnant, you got herpes while you're pregnant, that is a little bit more tricky than if you've lived with herpes and now you're pregnant. So we'll go with the scenario, meaning you've already had herpes, you've already been diagnosed, down the line, now you're pregnant. So if you are already with herpes, the virus, it is not that big of a deal. Your body has the antibodies, it knows what to expect. It is just this little virus that's in your body. You may experience more outbreaks because your body is under stress. You are creating a human. So you may potentially have a few more outbreaks than normal. Again, that is completely normal because you are growing a human and your body is changing every single day. Now, here's when it gets tricky. If you are just, here's where it gets tricky is during childbirth. So if you are planning to do a vaginal birth, during the birth, if you have an outbreak, you can transmit it to your child. And that is tricky. That can be, I don't want to use the word dangerous, but it can be dangerous for your baby because your baby is just coming out. It's been this perfect little egg, this world, this sack where nothing can hurt it. And it is coming out into this world full of viruses and bacteria, and it's going through a traumatic birthing experience to show up. And it's like, and now I have this new virus. So the baby is going on overdrive and like, oh my gosh, now there's a new virus. I don't even know. So it can be it can be difficult and challenging if your baby does get it during birth. A way to solve that is do a C-section. A cesarean is when they cut into the uterus and pull out the baby. If you just want to say, hey, I don't want to risk any of it, I'll do a C-section, pull baby out, I'm good to go. If you want to do a vaginal birth, that is fine. There are thousands of women that have herpes that give vaginal births. The key is talking to your doctor, letting your doctor know that you have herpes and they need to put you on an antiviral. That's going to be up to your doctor when and how, depending on your pregnancy. But for a lot of pregnant mommies-to-be, it's about 2 to 4 weeks before the birth of your child. So keep that in mind, Destiny, and to anybody else who's pregnant or wanting to be pregnant. Just go on the antiviral the last couple of weeks and the baby. And if you're not having an outbreak at that time, then your birth should be just normal. But again, the key here is knowing your body, and the key here is telling your doctor. They need to know because they are on your side and they're going to make sure that they do everything possible to prevent your baby from getting herpes, right? Because you don't want that nobody wants to give their child a virus or a bacteria or a disease or anything, right? Or a bad gene. We just want them to be perfect and everything for them. So yeah, that's important. Now, at the beginning I mentioned, if you're just finding out you have herpes and you're pregnant, that is going to be a little bit more challenging. And it's more challenging for the mom and it's more challenging for the baby. Your immune system's down, right? You don't have the antibodies built up. And so the risk of transmitting it to your baby is a little bit higher. The key is, I just want you to talk to your doctor. Your doctor is going to know what to do, and they're going to know about your diagnoses. They will most likely prescribe the antiviral drugs to you to ease your symptoms and to reduce the risk of infecting your baby. But it's just going to be a little bit harder on you. Really, there is a rare situation that the baby can be infected with the herpes. If that happens, the most common would be it'd be the mouth sores and eyes. You don't want it to go to the eyes. You don't want your child to have the herpes in the eyes. So I'm not trying to scare you by any means, Destiny. I'm just trying to make sure you know all of the symptoms and the complications that can go on with it. But here's the good news, and here's what I want you to think about, is we have been birthing babies forever. Ever. Babies are birthed, babies live, mommies live. So here's the key. This is not a unique, rare, you are not one needle in the haystack. This is something that is common, and your medical professional, your doctor, will be able to deal with this. So again, tell your doctor. If this is the type of thing, and I'm not saying you, Destiny, but somebody else that's listening, if you're pregnant and you're going, I think I have herpes, I don't know, and you're just scared, you don't want to go in, you don't want to know if you have herpes, do it for your baby. Go in, find out if you have herpes, because that can make or break the difference between the birthing, between your pregnancy, between just making sure that your child has the proper care so that he or she can enter this world and have everything going for him or her. So just do that for your baby. I know it's scary to find out if you have herpes. Trust me, I get it. But just make sure you do that. So yeah, Destiny, this was a great question. Again, congratulations. Like, I'm sure other people listening are like, yay, Destiny's having a baby. How exciting. I want to hear about it. And I want to hear what's going on about this, because this is important and exciting. So hope that answered your question. And I just think at the end of the day, talk to your healthcare professional, talk to your OBG, find out what is best for you and your body and your pregnancy. Maybe your doctor's going to say you cannot have a vaginal birth, you can only have a C-section, and then there you go. It solves your problem. You don't even have to worry about it. I don't know. So go talk to your doctor. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. I want to make sure that you are a part of our group. I want to make sure you're part of the community. I want to make sure that you are getting the free stuff and joining. So head on over to lifewithherpes.com. There is an area for you to join. I don't want you to be alone. I don't want you going through this alone. I have free ebooks. I have cool stuff. There is a Facebook group. It is uber duper super secret. Head on over, join it, and you'll become part of our community. I just can't wait to meet everybody. And there's also a place for you to ask the hashtag Alexandra, Ask Alexandra question. All right. Oh, and before I forget, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, rate, review. It does help organically promote this. Don't worry. You can leave a review and you don't have to put your name in. You just put an anonymous name in so people won't know you have herpes. Don't worry about that, but it is very helpful so that people like yourself can stumble upon this podcast and it can help change their lives. So yeah, rate, review, subscribe, whether you're listening on YouTube or you are listening on iTunes. All right, my friend, Destiny, thank you. And I look so forward to hearing from you all soon. Bye.